Hello and welcome.
Yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear it. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out.
How's that?
I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help the saints understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought cause you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is...
Good evening, everybody, and is all right. I got all the technical stuff done except for how to get online or make it work. Hi, everybody. We are on the air, and we've been on the air for a minute and 25 seconds, and this is taking center stage, and wow, this is rough because, it's our first show, and there's a lot of technology that we're trying to deal with. My name is Michael Cagle, and I will be with you for the next 90 minutes, and we're going to be talking one-on-one with two different guests today. And like I said, this is our premiere show, so I apologize for it not being up and ready, but I thought we had everything figured out. But once you hit the go button, something always weird happens. I do want to make sure that I've got my guests. My guests today are Lamont Patterson, who is the CEO and founder of World Movement Enterprises. And the second half will be Las Vegas singer Brenda Hebert, my chanteuse of Las Vegas. We are I'm just having a good time, and like I said, this is our first one, and you can tell because it's a little rough right now. Anyway, I'm wondering if everybody can hear me. There's really no way to find out. I guess what I'm going to do is have my mentor, who is also my first guest, let me know how I'm doing. I'm going to try to bring him in and see if I've got this working and that we're up to snuff. Hello? Hello? I'm looking for Lamont. Hello?
I can hear
Lamont.
you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
Oh. You know, I was so ready for this.
Oh, man, well, look, you're doing well, man. Don't trip, man. You're doing a whole lot more than a whole lot of other people would love to do. So you're doing well.
Well, thank you so much. Everything was all set up, and I talked to my next guest and made sure everything was working, and then all of a sudden I went to hit start, and my screen went blank. And the only thing that was happening is music was playing, and I'm like, wow, okay. So, but here we are, and it's our premiere episode, our debut episode, and I want to thank everybody for listening. This is Taking Center Stage with me, Michael Cagle, and obviously I'm here thanks to the incredible sponsorship and support of World Movement Enterprises, and I thought it was only fair to have my first guest be the CEO of World Movement Enterprises, and that is the one and only Lamont Patterson. Say hello, sir. Yay! God.
Hey, look,
first of all,
I had to do my own fanfare there. You know, yay!
I'll have to find like an audio clip of like screaming and cheering and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, first of all, I want to tell you it's such a great honor to have you as my first guest. And like I said, I thought it was only fair and the right thing to do because you are just right now such a pivotal and important person in my life and such a great mentor, and I'm learning so much from you. I mean, just when you think you know a lot about the business, you know, you run into someone who's been in the business and done a lot, and then you're like, whoa, I have so much to learn. So I'm just really thrilled to have you as a guest, but more importantly, as a really good friend, and like I said, a really good mentor. And I welcome you to my show.
Man, I'm honored to be a part of it, man. And we got our other buddy on the line listening to the show as well. We got Stan from Vegas online listening to the show too.
Hey, that's great. Is he the 358?
Yes,
number?
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to say hi to him. I'm going to bring him on. I hope he's ready. I haven't seen him in. It's been like 12 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're not having fun. No.
Sometimes when you're having fun, it flies.
Yes, it is. Sir, Stan, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Michael. How you doing, man? Congratulations.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you for
good to hear.
being patient.
Well, I mean, you know.
How's it going? How's things going in Vegas?
Oh, everything is going good, man. You know, we got things happening with Sue and Brandy right now, and that's what we focused in on. So everything's going good.
Good. So I take it you're was that? Are you staying busy?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah, we're staying busy. You know, Vegas has changed a little bit since you left, but things are still going on.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's great to have. It's great to reconnect with you, and you know, reconnecting with everybody that was involved in World Movement, and of course the Rising Star showcases, and those weekly shows were awesome. They were just wonderful. So
we had a lot of great talent come through there. You know, I was really impressed. You know, when I left California to move to Vegas, that was actually my intention, was to come there and delve into the Vegas talent. A lot of people think that when people go to Vegas, they see a lot of the tribute artists there. But it's a lot of artists there as well as doing, you know, original music. They're not all tribute artists doing the oldie but goodie stuff.
Yeah. You know, and it is wild because going into Vegas, I moved there in 2001, and I really had no you talk about somebody that was green. I had done a whole bunch of touring by that time, but I'd never really been to like a city like Vegas, and my expectations were pretty well dashed when I figured out how tough it was there, and it's there's a lot of talent, a lot of undiscovered talent that never has. You know, I feel really blessed in that regard because there's just so many people there in that city with so much talent that never get to touch a stage or tour or anything. And I think the Rising Stars really gave everybody an opportunity. Yeah.
You know, one thing I do want to say too, Mike. You know, there's a lot of artists there. You know, it seems like for some reason their mentality is stuck. I understand that you have to work and perform, you know, at different casinos, you know, to put food on the table. I got that. But by the same token, I see a lot of them just don't really think out of the box. You know, they could have, you know, music played on the radio. They could be doing some other things simultaneously. But for some reason, they get hung up on the weekly grind, to get that paycheck. And to me, it kind of stifles their artistry because they could be doing so much more. You know what I mean? To me, as a as a producer, and I saw that a lot, and that's partly why I had to move back. Move out of Vegas and move back in the trenches where people was doing, what I do. For that exact reason.
Well, it just, it's kind of an interesting thing because there is a lot of talent in Vegas, but I think Vegas has become a place where established artists are going to not retire, but set up residency, but Vegas isn't really producing like new artists or everybody seems to be either established and with a 20-year history, or they're, like you said, they're doing tributes or entire covers and stuff. And so even though the talent is good, there's not a lot of new artists that are breaking out of Vegas.
Not at all. There was one that came out of there, Neo, and he don't even claim Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. I will definitely say, I don't regret a minute of moving to Vegas. It was incredible. I had great friends there, and I was very, very, like I said, I was very fortunate to be at the right place at the right time that enabled me to do a bunch of showrooms and that kind of thing. But when you go to the level of wanting to be an artist doing your own music, and Vegas isn't really, I don't think Vegas is interested in making stars. They're not. No. You have to go to LA or so
that's what I call the trenches. LA, New York, Atlanta,
okay,
or anywhere across the pond, anywhere outside the United States. If you're successful anywhere outside the United States, you automatically are hit here.
Yeah. Are you still with us, Stan?
Oh yeah, I'm here, bro.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to you guys.
That's awesome. Well, my big question, I guess, for you, Lamont, as my first guest, I wanted to give you an opportunity for people to get to know. I mean, it's easy to say that you're the CEO of a label or a multimedia, enterprise, but how did you get there? You didn't just wake up overnight and say, I'm going to do this. Tell us a little about the Lamont Patterson story.
Oh, man, one day I just woke up in front of a liquor store, man, and it was just on from there. Well, it's interesting. Like, I guess a lot of people that came up in my era, I'm dating myself now, we all came up in church, pretty much, singing in choirs and doing that stuff, and on to the high schools, playing in band and singing in choir, and going through the whole music thing all the way through school. But I've always had some type of music around me, one way or another. My auntie, she was the matriarch in church. She played piano and keyboard, so I have to be there every week. And one of my family members, my cousin, he was a producer, promoter, singer. And when I was going through school, he had a popular group at the time. The group was called the Young Hearts, and Stan could attest to this because Stan and I, when we were in high school, we used to walk like 4 or 5 miles just to go to these guys' rehearsal, just to watch them, with the clothes and the dancing and the pretty cars, and it's always about the gals, because they always had that, and they always had the fame, and all that was attractive, to young guys, of course. So my cousin, who was the manager of the group, he said, well, man, when you finish school, I'm going to help you with your music. So how it went, his fame, he got more successful, And when I finished school, he just didn't have time for little cousin. So during college, my little college days, I met this girl named Dorothy Fuqua. And her uncle, he was representing this group called the New Birth, Dramatics, Side Effect, and a bunch of other pretty well-known R&B groups at the time. So I met some of the guys in the New Birth, and I ended up going on tour with them as a, songwriter, horn player, singer, so on and so forth. So I've always had that thing where I just love music. I was always smitten by the music thing. So from the artist thing, from being a singer, musician, the next thing was to go into production. So I dealt with production for quite a few years. From that point, I went into artist management, and I had a lot of success in the management field. And I got kind of burnt out on that one because management is a whole other thing. And if a lot of managers out there, I'm sure they understand what I meant. It's more than the notion to manage other artists and stuff. It's hard enough to manage yourself. But I had the pleasure of managing this guy Bill Summers, which I got to work with. Quincy Jones, Sting.
Okay.
Herbie Hancock, and a lot of other notorieties, with that whole era. And from then in 1990, I had Big Boy, too. Everybody knew Big Boy from Power 106 and Big Boy's Neighborhood. I managed him as well and did his first record also. So from that point, 1990, we started World Movement Records. So we just been doing the record label stuff ever since. And in the last 10 years, we got more involved into the film, TV stuff. And, of course, 14 years ago, we started the podcast. We started doing podcasts when nobody respected internet radio. Everybody was on, terrestrial radio. That's the thing. Nobody respected podcasts. Now today, everybody and their mama and their pet fish have a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast.
Everybody, and we're blessed to say right now this podcast is on every platform that's out there. So if you say you can't hear this show, I ask you, ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask your neighbor across the street, go ask the milkman or the guy that work at the donut shop. Somebody should be able to tell you how to hear this show, so you don't have no excuse.
So, do you miss the performing days at all, or are you pretty satisfied? Although, honestly, I know that you're doing. If somebody watches TV, they'll probably spot you in several either TV movies or miniseries or series. But do you miss the actual singing aspect of it?
Actually, I don't, and I'll tell you why. A part of this, my little story, I forgot to mention that through that whole management production process, I own a recording studio as well. I don't really feel like I miss it because I sing in the shower every day, and I always tell myself whenever I get ready, and this is real talk. Whenever I get ready, I already know I can sing on something. I could get with you. I could get with me, or I can call some of our other little celebrity friends and say, "Come on, man, let's sing something. Let's do something." So I don't miss it for the thought that I know I can always do it if I chose to. If that makes sense.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm all right. When is the last time you got on stage and cut loose?
It's been a minute. Because it's been a minute, and that again is because my dream was to build a full service entertainment company, not to only do music, publish books, TV, film, podcasts. I want to have a full service entertainment company, and it's always been my dream. Once I do that, I could really get into my painting, because I want to paint murals and stuff. I shouldn't tell
Oh, wow.
But I really want to get
Okay.
into really heavy into my creativity, if that makes sense. I'm still building now. You know what I mean? So once I feel like the company is where it's supposed to be, then I can go play with me, singing some of the songs that I want to sing, or painting pictures, or doing that. You know what I mean? And calling all my talented friends, like I said, like yourself, and say, come on, man, let me get all you guys in the studio, and we're going to do this project.
That would be amazing. I'm there. So.
Yeah. So I have a plan to this end game. So it's not over yet.
Good.
It's not over.
So I was going to say, what is it? Let's say the next 3 years, as you look into, the things that you got going on. What are you the most excited about the next 3 years?
Let me see. We have Cooking with My Homies. That's in pre-production, which is a celebrity-based cooking show.
Now I got to let you know, I can cook.
Well, me too.
Okay, wow. That silence was deafening.
No, hey, look. You already in the mix, so I can't count you. But anyway, I'm talking to your listeners right now. It's a celebrity-based cooking show, and it's featuring recording artists, past, present, and future. We're doing all genres, and basically the artist, he or she will perform whatever song that they're known for. Then we'll discuss, what's been happening with their careers, what's going on in their lives now, that whole little thing.
Right.
And then, we transition into the kitchen. And they'll prepare their favorite dish, and then we'll pull somebody up from the audience to come up and help their favorite artist cook whatever it is that they're cooking.
What?
So
that's awesome. Can you cook?
That's Cooking with My Homies. I'm from Texas, man, so I would say I'm more of a barbecue type guy, and by being the oldest of 5 boys, if you couldn't cook something, you didn't eat, because the other brothers are not cooking nothing for you. So we all learned how to cook hot dogs. we all learned how to boil hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? and some beans.
Come on.
No, I've gotten better over the years, man. Honestly.
Okay, so because you're talking barbecue, then you know how to slow cook a brisket.
Oh, absolutely. I'm from Texas, man. I know how to do all of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're talking about hot dogs. Come on.
Well, I was just talking about, we all had to, my brothers and I, we all had to learn how to, basically cook something, because there was a whole bunch of chiefs in the house and no Indians.
Oh, yeah. Can you cook, Stan?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What's some of your favorite?
That's a good question, man. When it comes to cooking, anything that's going to be on the menu, I usually do pretty good. I had a good teacher, so, I'm not no gourmet cook or nothing like that, but whatever I do make is really tasty and good.
Yeah,
I don't know why that sounds like soup. I don't know. That sounds like souffled water and onion soup.
About the only thing that I can't cook, I can't cook Japanese or Chinese food, like Asian food. For some reason, I just can't do it. But like, I can cook really good Mexican food, and I make like crazy amazing gumbo. People are like shocked. They're like, "Wow, this is," but I can't. For some reason, I don't know if it's just the ingredients or whatever, but that's my Achilles heel cooking wise is any kind of Asian cooking is just so hard to do. So.
Well,
there.
see,
one good come to Seattle, we're gonna have you cook us some gumbo.
Oh, that's going to happen. That I will do,
All right.
and you'll be like,
Okay,
whoa, okay, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna hold you to that one, buddy.
Yep.
Oh no, my gumbo is so good. Chef Ramsay's scared of it.
Okay.
Right,
That sounds like a Chef Ramsay challenge right there.
Yeah. I got to be a big fan of his, and it took me a long time, but now I can make. I make incredible risotto. I know how to properly cook my scallops. I have not attempted beef Wellington yet, just because the thought of cooking it and making it the right thickness and cooking the beef, and that scares me because I have a feeling I might burn the pastry, or it's a tough one. But other than that, nah, I'm ready for Hell's Kitchen. Bring it on.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna make sure you in the building.
Okay.
Definitely. So, I think that's pretty much the next thing for world movement. Of course, we're gonna continue to put out great music, and that's our motto. Moving the world without music, and that's the next plateau is our TV and film production. So, and then I think once we go ahead.
How do you think being in the industry for the length of time that you have been in, and the level of expertise and experience, how do you feel music is changing? I know that, like, the way it's released now, the days of CDs and LPs and that kind of thing with streaming has kind of removed that. But do you feel like music is moving in a different direction now that it was even like 5 years ago?
That's a really good question, Michael. I'm not quite Man, I don't know. How much time you got left on the show? Because
take your time.
That was a deep question, man. Because my mind kind of went a lot of different places with that. Because when we started out with music, we was dealing like with just 2 tracks, right? Left and right. That was it. Then you went from 2, 4 track, 6 track, 8 track, 24, 48. The different devices, the ADAT machines, the 24-track machines, and different things. And then now, I was one of the first guys in California, actually, that did a surround sound hip-hop record, and it was a 5+1. And nobody had surround sound in the automobiles at the time. Very few people had it in their homes because it was too expensive. So I think music has came full circle technically, because now we still back down to we still dealing with digital applications, and we still dealing with 5+1, 6+1, and Dolby Atmos for people that understand that.
Yep.
But I still just like regular old simple left and right stereo with a good mix. Now, as far as the artistry is concerned, I think by me coming up in the era shortly after the big band days, and watching the production and being in studios where we had live instrumentation, we didn't have a lot of the technical gadgets, you know what I mean?
Right.
We would have to go in there and not sing it, but sang it, and we couldn't like just one take and rewind it and do it like 50,000 different times. So it was different. I really think the artists, the old school artists, were a lot more serious about the music than the artists today, simply because they have more technical gadgets to play with to make them sound better. Because it seemed like the old school artists, either you sound good or you didn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't no auto tune. It wasn't none of that.
Right.
So,
right.
so I guess
yeah,
for a
and
lot of
you know, absolutely. I mean, I'm such a big fan of I don't want to say the old school, but when you think about someone like Stevie Wonder walking in without auto tune and having to hit those notes clean every time, it's amazing to me the level of artistry and the level of sheer talent they had, because like you said, they didn't have something that would make them adjust a key or you know, raise the pitch on something. They either hit it or they had to try to hit it again, you know, but they didn't have any technology to change it. I agree. You know, I think there's some great artists that are out there now that are like really, really good, but I think it's now coming into, it's now more about the packaging and what the person looks like and appears like and what kind of production or show they have, as opposed to
they're produced artists. There's
yeah.
a definite difference between a natural artist versus a produced artist.
Yeah. I'm in awe of some of the I'm in awe of some of the things that people did, you know, even back in, you know, because auto tune is is relatively new, didn't it? Isn't that something that came out at the beginning of the early 2000s, or was it around before that?
Toward the middle, I'd say probably toward the middle of 2000, when people start really like, you know, locking into it and stuff.
Oh. So what is on the agenda for World Movement Records this year? I mean, we talked about World Movement Enterprises in the next, 5 years.
We got your projects that we're finalizing for this year, for your Christmas projects. Looking forward for the new single for the first quarter from you. We have a project with Brandy that will be coming out shortly, and then she has her single coming out as well for the first quarter.
Perfect.
So we pretty much lined up for the next few months, going into the holiday season, which, I know I'll be working, but a lot of people in the industry are going to be taking off. God bless them that they could do that. I wish I could do that, but I can't do that.
What kind of artist is Lamont Patterson looking for his label?
First of all, man, I've answered this question before too. Let me see. The kind of artists that really motivate me is ones that believe in themselves first. Two, they don't expect anybody to do more for them than they're willing to do for themselves, which means, I get a lot of mail from a lot of people that want to come with the label, but they haven't even done their due diligence. I mean, they haven't, recorded anything. They haven't even put together any type of package whatsoever, no pictures, no nothing. They haven't done anything to approach somebody. And been in the business a long time, you don't expect them to come with you with, no $10,000 package, something picture perfect. You got that. But what you look for is the effort. The effort is the thing. If you humble and you come with sincere effort, anybody that's real in this industry will help you because somebody has helped them. But don't come asking somebody to believe more in you than you believe in yourself, because that's ridiculous to even expect. People call me all the time, hey man, can you book me? Can you get me a show somewhere? And the first thing comes to my mind, well, who would you pay to go see that you don't know?
Yeah.
And then they give you that pause, that silence. Okay, so I would say the artist that would excite me is the one that's not sitting around waiting for somebody to do something for them that they're not willing to do for themselves. And that's about as simple as I could put it. I'll go with you. I'll ride with you, but it's with you. You know what I mean? It's not for you. It's with you.
Right. All right, everybody. We are talking to Lamont Patterson, who, aside from being the CEO of World Movement Records, which is the label I am happily associated and signed with, he is also the CEO of World Movement Enterprises, which covers a variety of, like he was talking about, publishing, podcasts, record label, TV, movies. And if you would like to ask him or would like to call and just say hello on our premiere show here, you can call in at area code 347-308-8747. Once again, that's 347-308-8747. And if you want to ask him on a question or talk to me, feel free to do that. And I'm having a good time. I'm kind of excited about the fact that you're doing so much movie work and TV work. How did that actually get started for you?
Well, I was sitting around thinking one day while I was playing my fiddle, and I said, Lamont, everybody that do music eventually want to be in TV and do movies and stuff. And then
Okay.
I started thinking, I say, well, everybody that's doing film and TV work want to do music. So there's a natural synergy there. So
Right.
I said, let me see how I could get involved with that. So many years ago in my office in Hollywood, I was involved with this guy named Al Franklin. And actually this guy named Joey Medina, which is a well-known Latino comedian. Everybody knows Joey Medina. We did this movie called El Matador, and we used my office for one of the scenes in there. And I say, this is kind of really cool. I say, so if I could do this and do my music simultaneously, it doesn't really matter which door I kick in first, because I'll eventually come to a place where I'll be in a room where all doors lead to the same place. So from there, I started getting involved in, more TV productions and getting in front of the camera, because I felt like, if I find myself in different TV productions and working on different films, I get to meet different actors. I get to learn what the cameraman does, how the audio, the sound people work, the lighting system work. It was almost like taking a TV film production course, but instead of me going to school for it, I did on-the-job training. So here it is, years and years and years down the road, I've came out with a wealth of contacts in the business, and not to mention that I've been on pretty much every TV show out there, so to speak.
Wow.
So,
yeah, you're. I see you on like FX and Hulu, and now I know you're on Netflix. Are they?
Yeah.
Are you? Do you have anyone that's a favorite of yours, or do you just kind of treat it the same way every time, or?
Well, I treat it like it's all on-the-job training, and like I said, I just did a couple days with Cedric the Entertainer on his show, The Neighborhood, which was cool, which is being aired now, and some other friends told me that they saw me on the Jeffrey Dahmer that's on Netflix. But every production that I've worked on, or everything that I've been an actor on, it's all been a learning experience for me, because end goal for World Movement Enterprise is to produce their own content, where I haven't mentioned DEFCON 4, another movie that we're involved in. The Bridget Harris story, another film that we're involved in that we're doing a soundtrack on. So, the whole thing for this is to do our own content. The whole TV film thing, the whole production, the soundtrack, where I can utilize, all my friends, all the artists, all the musicians that I've put in the last 30 years in the business. But that would complete the circle for me.
Awesome. All right, we are talking to, as I said, Lamont Patterson, and he'll be with us for about the next 5 minutes or so. If you'd like to call, you can ask him a question or just say hi at 347-308-8747. And I believe we still have Stan. Are you still with us, Stan?
I'm here, Mike.
You're just laid back listening. That's awesome.
He been doing that ever since we was in junior high school. Mike, he been doing that. He let me get in all the mess, and then he come up behind me shaking his head.
I love it. So you guys
right.
met in junior high?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I think we were 15, 14, 15, 16, something like that.
Wow, that is a long friendship. Wow.
Yeah, it's been 55 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We started off
back when we was doing showcases in junior high school, doing Temptation songs.
What? That's awesome. I absolutely love that. Yeah. All right, you guys.
Sir.
Well, I am thrilled to have both of you on as my very, very first guest, and obviously I'm going to be leaning on your expertise and mentorship, and I'm just looking forward. I just am going to continue to repeat it. I feel really blessed to be involved with everything that World Movement is doing, being part of the label, and just having such an important and valuable friendship and relationship with you, Lamont, is really, really amazing to me. And Stan, I remember Stan. Stan did all the work and didn't want very much recognition. I remember vividly him being the one that was putting out fires and making sure stuff was. But he was very, very content being on the sidelines, making sure that everything was supported. And everybody needs that. There are people that are very pivotal on the front stage and being a face of a company or a face of what's happening. But, you can't survive without pillars and people to support you, because it's just not going to happen.
Everybody's position is important, and that's what people forget. They get hung up on their egos and stuff, and I do understand sometimes the ego is like petrol in your gas tank. It's like, gas in your gas tank. You need a certain amount of ego, because everybody's not going to like you, but everybody's not going to dislike you. So you definitely need those people that you're associated with, like those supporting people, like you said. But everybody's position is important, and it's usually the people that's standing behind you, holding you up. They're the most important people.
Exactly.
Because without them, you couldn't do none of the things that you do.
And I'll tell you one thing that I have always valued is watching someone that is either on their way up or they have at least achieved part of their goal, and to watch them helping somebody else is amazing to me, because there's so many people that in the industry that I know that have so much talent, but they're not about supporting anybody else or because they feel like if they encourage or support someone else that it looks negative upon what they do, and it's actually the opposite, because the more self-confidence and comfortableness you have with what you do, the more you're willing to reach out and help somebody else. And I kind of look at you like that.
Those were the same people, Michael, when they were little kids that wouldn't let you play with their toy.
Yeah, right.
Same people. They just older now. Same people.
They just older.
Just older.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being on. Stan, thank you for your incredible commentary.
Hey,
no,
man,
your support.
It was my pleasure, man, to be on your show, Mike. And
I was
again,
good. It meant a lot.
Man, I'm happy for you.
I am thrilled, and I'm thrilled to be, like I said, I'm thrilled to be part of this whole enterprise, and I feel really good about knowing the fact that you're still involved, because I do remember you very vividly, and you were a very, very pivotal part of all those showcases that we did week after week, and your input and your ability to just help and support and keep things on track was really impressive. So I'm thrilled that you're part of that.
Mike.
Yes.
All right.
And Lamont, you know what I think of you.
I didn't do it. I don't care what nobody says.
All right, you guys.
Mike, you've been fantastic.
I really do appreciate.
You're great. You're great.
We'll work on it.
I've always thought you was great, man, and I believe that you're there, and I believe in you now. So,
well, thank you. That really does mean a lot. It really does. I'm just working to be the better me.
That's all we could do. That's all we could ask for.
Yep. Yeah, just working on being the better me. So, all right, you guys.
All right.
Thank you so much. And by the way, if you're interested in anything that we've been talking about today, please go to World Movement. Is it worldmovemententerprises.com or worldmovement.com?
Just worldmovement.com, and the show is available everywhere, wherever they listen to it. On iTunes, YouTube. Let me see, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Apple.
Wow.
Let me see. There's
so just pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, all they got to do is Google the show, and it'll come up.
The show. Well, I'm talking about them just getting excited about what's going on and being able to follow not only the label and the TV stuff, but like the artists and stuff. Everybody check out worldmovement.com. A lot of great stuff is happening, and I really honestly believe it's going to be a company that's just going to explode within the next 5 years with so much great stuff. And I'm ready for my cook-off with Chef Ramsay.
You're going to have it, too. Hey, be careful what you ask for. Hey, you got another guest, Brenda. I mean, I guess she's quiet, though. But I see Brenda.
Well, yeah, Brenda's my second guest, and she's being a doll. And but I did want to. Huh?
We're going to be quiet, man. We're going to listen to you and Brenda for a minute.
Okay. Well, okay. Thank you guys so much for being here, everybody. My guest, the one and only Lamont Patterson, who you can see right now on Netflix's Dahmer series, and the one and only Stan Doris, who doesn't talk a lot, but his presence is always felt.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right. I just want to thank you guys for showing up. This is Michael Cagle. You're watching, or I'm not watching. You're listening to Taking Center Stage with yours truly. My first guest, of course, that I just appreciated was Lamont Patterson, and sliding in with Stan Doris, and I'm so excited. And now we are going to be bringing, she just disappeared, my second guest. Oh, this is one of those fun things that happens when you're doing live. Your person leaves. Your guest leaves. I will wait for her to come back because I'm very excited. My second guest is an incredible singer from Las Vegas. She is not only a regular singing the national anthem for a bunch of incredible sporting events, she also does quite a few nightclubs and even spends some of her time singing to the people in retirement centers as well. And she's incredible. She's wonderful. I've asked her to start by giving us a song, and I want her to sing for us. I want to make sure she's there. Are you there, Miss Brenda?
I think so. Can you hear me?
I hear you amazingly.
Oh, good. I tried connecting through the website and it didn't work. I don't think I couldn't hear anything. So.
Oh, you couldn't hear anything? Okay. Well, I can hear you now. So
okay.
I know this is our first show. So technically, we're going to work out little kinks and everything, but I think everybody gets the idea of what the show is going to be like. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, and I want my guests to have the freedom to be themselves and just do what they do. And as I said, I think you're one of the most incredible singers I know, and I know that you're doing so much. We'll get into that. What you're doing in Vegas and some of the stuff that's going on. But, ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, singing. Now, ready? This is how gutsy this show is right here. She's going to sing live.
Oh, of course. You wouldn't want me to sing dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, as if we never said goodbye, this is Las Vegas chanteuse, Brenda Hebert.
And this, oh no, now this was working a few moments ago. Oh, yes, it's live. Hey.
Uh-oh.
No, it's fine. It's just, of course, things decide to go wrong when things are supposed to go right. Of course, right?
Hey, I only have professionals on my first show so that we can roll with the punches as stuff happens.
And I'm like, yeah.
I have been in shows where that has happened, where something that was queued up wasn't queued up correctly, or just let me know. Is it starting to go?
Let's see. Oh, give me a break. Okay, that's me now. Hold on one second, because
sure.
It just.
Well, I'm going to give everybody a number. Okay, so you are listening, sort of, to Taking Center Stage, and as with every first-time show with live singing and bringing different guests on, every now and then we have technical issues, and we're having one now. But if you would like to call in, let me give you the number before the interview and singing starts. You can give us a call at 347-308-8747. That's 347-308-8747, and I will love to hear from you, and we'll go from there.
I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. These cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, the world raise itself, but I'm not in any hurry, and I need a moment. The whispered conversation in overcrowded hallways. The atmosphere is really near, go away. spent so many mornings just trying to resist you. I'm trembling now, you can't know how I miss you. This a fairy tale adventure in this ever-spinning playground. We were young together, coming out of makeup, the lights already burning. Not long until the cameras will start turning, and the early morning madness, and the magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I don't want to be alone. That's all in the past. This was waiting long enough. I'm as this time will be bigger and brighter than you will. So watch me fly. We all know I can live. So I stop from shaking. Just forever spend a moment. There's so much to live for. Whispered conversation in overcrowded ways. So much to say, not just today, but always. We'll have early morning madness. We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Oh, please, don't ever make me say goodbye.
Woo! Yay! That was awesome.
Thank you. Oh.
You're so good. Yeah, it actually wasn't bad. It's your speaker and your voice are pretty powerful. So the sound was good. I just wish I
was it too loud?
I think the music got a little thumpy, but that's okay. We're all, like I said, I bring in pros to help me on my first show because, but it was great. I love that song, and I didn't know that you sang Barbra Streisand.
You didn't,
right? Yeah, that's such a shock to me.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. There's a little bit of there's a little Streisand in the repertoire there. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for being my first guest. That's so exciting, and obviously I've known. Well, you should be. Well, because from the moment I met you, I just fell in love with your personality and just how you just embrace all these songs that you sing. And I have to admit, you have shocked me in how much repertoire you really know and how diverse you are. Like that's yeah. Because
I
just
love
when I
your
think,
face when I broke out with AC/DC.
yeah, I was gonna say when you saying you shook me all night long, I'm just like, what? So what is it?
I'm sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
No, I was
And then,
going
of
to
course,
say.
I can't always take myself too seriously, so I got to come up with some funny songs like Casey Jones, like "Never Wear Panties to a Party," and "Every Man I Love Is Either Married, Gay, or Dead." And
that's mine.
and then
Yeah, I know that one.
Song first.
What
Go
is
ahead.
it like? What is it like to be a singer in? First of all, how does it feel to be a singer in Las Vegas?
Oh, well, when I moved here in 2009, I moved here from the Seattle area, although I was living in Aberdeen. Don't hold that against me, though. And I moved here with a one-way ticket, plane ticket, a backpack, and a suitcase, and that was it. So, because I wanted to be able to, work on my music and do what I wanted, what I love to do. So, and right now I do a lot of shows with at assisted living homes and things like that. So, it may not be a stadium full of people, but it's a stadium full of love, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So,
Have you felt like it's probably much different now, the Vegas now, especially post-pandemic, as when you first moved here?
Yeah, it was. I started doing my shows at like assisted living homes in like 2014, and I finally built up like about 20 shows a month.
Wow.
20 shows a month at assisted living homes from Boulder City to Centennial Hills, which is like from one end of Clark County to the other end of Clark County.
Right.
And doing 20 shows a month when the pandemic hit. So, yeah. And, I mean, I think it was either the first week or the second week, then I started doing Facebook Live shows. And although lately with everybody going back to work, I wasn't pulling in as many viewers as I had been during the quarantine. So,
right.
Yeah,
you were averaging, because I have to be honest, I as many people know, I do some vocal coaching on the side with people that I really believe in, and Brenda is one of my amazing talent that I get to work with. But even during the pandemic, when we were just basically friends and I knew you, it was not unusual for you to have a huge amount of people that were tuning into your to your live shows on Facebook, and they were so good. I mean, there were costume changes, and you're just you're not one of those that just stands there and sings. You believe in bringing a song to life, and I cannot wait when we go video on these shows to be able to let everybody see you, because it's awesome. I just very few people, unfortunately, these days really get it that singing and performing is five senses, and so you want to be visually stunning. You want people to feel what you're singing, and you don't have to do calisthenics or cartwheels across the stage, but you also don't want to look like at any moment you're going to be embalmed. So
yeah. You don't want to look like some of these bass guitar players in some of these bands.
Yeah, yeah, right.
They just stand there.
Just because I mean, to me, I've always, because I come from a really strong theater background. Songs to me are always monologues. I think about, okay, what is the purpose of this song? It's not just to hit notes. It's what is the purpose? Is it to be fun? Is it to move you? Is it to tell a story? Is it to share how you're feeling? And you need to be able to convey that to an audience. And you do that in leaps and bounds. It's like I said, you're one of those people I cannot wait to have back on when we do video, when we're doing video, because to see you live is just amazing. Talk to me about how did you get into singing, and why did you get into singing?
Well, actually, I can't remember a time that I didn't sing. I mean, even if it was just with the radio or, with my records or, yes, back records. I used to sing, the Donny Osmond, and then with tapes it was Barbara, it was Helen Reddy, it was Manhattan Transfer, it was Harry Connick Jr. Let's see. So, and Peter Gabriel. So I've got kind of an eclectic
you do
music
collection.
I've got like a big media shelf that's overflowing in my living room.
So basically music has been, there's never been a time that you haven't felt music or been inspired by it, or
that I've never been inspired by it? No.
What I mean is there hasn't been a time that it hasn't inspired you. Like,
right.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my mom says that when I was little and she'd take me to go get my shots, she would sing to me to try to distract me from, getting a shot. And she said I give her the funniest look. Well, one night my brother and I invited her to karaoke, and I figured out why I gave her the funny look. I love my mom, but I did not get my singing talent from her.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. It's, even as a little girl, I've always had like an ear. I could distinguish voices, even when somebody was in costume or something like that. My brother's godfather came one year for Christmas dressed up as Santa Claus, and he said, ho, 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 I'm Santa Claus. And here I am at 4 years old, and I'm like, that's not Santa Claus.
Oh, wow.
My mom was horrified. Of course, my brother was only 9 months old, so he didn't realize what was going on.
So, oh God, you're so cute. So who have been some of your, to get to be the Brenda that you are now, who are some of your inspirations?
Let's see. Well, Barbara, mainly because she's been the longest that I've listened to. Helen Reddy. I guess as a vocalist, I prefer number one. Other vocalists, the number one, I can understand what the heck they're singing.
Okay.
Celine Dion. And I guess in the last 15 years, I've gotten into Liza Minnelli, and mainly because I guess her range and my range really are about the same.
They are really similar.
Our vocal range.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Very, very similar. Are you going to
Um,
do another song for me?
Oh, yes.
Why?
If I must.
What song are you planning on?
How about Angie Baby by Helen Reddy?
Let's do it.
Live your life in songs you hear on the rock and roll radio. When your girl doesn't have any girls, it's a really nice place to go. Folks hoping you can turn up, but they take you out. You're a little touch, you know, and you baby. Love of the fear and you roomy side and the world is across the floor. But they always fade away every tap on your door. And you girl, you all right. Tell them happy all the night. All for happy baby. Happy baby. Special lady. Living in a world that makes me believe. Well, maybe. Something in our house, a neighbor boy with people on his mind. There's been kicking in Angie's room at night through a window blind. I see your folks gone away. Would you dance with me today? Show you how to have a good time and keep it right. Hey, when he walks in the room, it feels confused like you walk into a play. And the music's so loud, it spins in the mouth and the soul has lost its way. Now she turns the volume down, you get it over with the sound. It seems to pull him off around. To walk the radio down, never to be found. The headlines read and the boy disappeared, and everyone thinks he died. But the crazy girl with the secret love keeps us satisfied. It's so nice to be insane. No one else did you play. The radio by your side, and she baby. Yeah, she baby. You're a special lady. Living in a world of feeling. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well, maybe.
Yes.
Did you like? Okay.
Yes. Well, I wanted to mute it so you didn't hear any like breathing or. So, yeah. I will say, I think that next time I have you on, and we'll talk about this. Like I said, I'm just kind of learning. I love the fact that people are singing live on the show. We just have to make sure the speakers are not super close to the microphone, because sometimes it's just like it overpowers them. And of course, you have a good sized voice, like nobody else in this conversation does. But being a singer with a big voice, it's real hard to. Yeah, my poor little microphones at times just goes, no, please. Anyway, tell me about. I know that you do. You get to sing the national anthem for several sporting events. How did you get into that, and how fun is that for you?
I love singing the national anthem. My first time was actually for the Seattle Thunderbirds when I was 17 years old. I sang the U.S. and Canadian at that time.
Wow.
And so it's been a little more difficult to break in here in Las Vegas because some teams, well, at least one team thinks that they should only have one singer, which makes no sense. But, what are you going to do? But
right.
I am the official national anthem singer for the Las Vegas Silver Stars women's tackle football team. So
wow.
They have three games a season, but hey, it's and they only play American teams, so I get to sing the Star Spangled Banner. But I got to sing this season for the Las Vegas Aviators AAA team, baseball team. I sang for them quite a few times when they were the 51s, and then I got to sing again this last season. So hopefully I'll get to sing again next season. Trying to get my foot in the door to sing for the Las Vegas Aces, and it's been kind of a trial, but
Okay. All right, so let me ask you, what does the next 3 to 5 years look like for Brenda? Where would you like Brenda to be at?
That's a good question. I would like to have, show in a lounge, at least a lounge here in Las Vegas. I could see myself, headlining on the Strip, but people got to know who I am before they'll pay for a ticket to come see me, especially at those prices.
Do you find are you able to do, a lot of the open mic cabaret kind of things that are still out there in Vegas, or how do you feel about those?
When I can, yeah. When I can, it's just mainly, I'm also working at night, so.
Okay.
So that's kind of, but I work at night so I can do my shows during the day, and then, so non-music work at night.
Yeah, I hear ya. Yeah. Oh, hey, there's a reason why they say, go to New York as an actor, be prepared to wait tables. It's
right.
It's just because it's a tough industry, and sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time. And
right.
When my experience in Vegas was exactly the same thing. I came with a pretty decent resume to Las Vegas, but nobody was interested. They're like, okay, well, that was cool, but what are you doing here? And what saved me years of fighting in Vegas was I won a contest that the grand prize was a week-long contract in a showroom, and at the end of the week they told me they wanted to sign me and keep me on. And had I not won that contest, I would be, I'd be like so many other incredibly talented people, really working to be recognized and heard and everything. So it's a tough situation. Would you like to see yourself doing fronting a band, or do you want to do a one-woman show, or what would the ideal Brenda show look like?
Oh, I guess that's my problem, is trying to narrow it down, because I like the idea of the band, but and I guess it would lend more creativity than just singing to the track.
To tracks,
so,
yeah. Yeah, I will tell you, the more you get into, lounge work and showroom work, because I used to do heavy, tracks never bothered me, but then the amount of money they wanted to pay the artist and everything, they weren't going to pay it if there wasn't a drummer and a piano player and a guitar player. So having a band is really, really pivotal. But your issue is going to be you're so diverse. You're going to have to find music. You have to find musicians unless you narrow it down, to a specialty. Yeah. Because I know that one of the things I love about you is that you sing bilingual as well, and which isn't often done. Or if it is done, it's kind of done terribly. But you really do it. I know that's terrible. I know, but I'm one of these people. I'm one of these people that when I go to a show, I want to see and feel the music, not just vocally, but presentation-wise. I think that's such an important responsibility for a performer to do, is to perform. And you actually do that. So, yeah.
And, I don't know, especially in French language, there aren't a lot of French English singers, at least in the United States. But I can sing some Spanish and a little bit of Italian too. The Italian I need to work a little more on, but
well, I hate to do this to you. I know that. I thought you have one more song, correct?
Oh, I guess so.
Is it? How long is it?
3.5 minutes.
Let's do it now. That'll leave me a minute.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, singing one more. And, honey, go ahead and turn your speakers down just a little bit, and we'll see if we can get some better audio. But other than that, let's do it.
Is that too low or?
No, that's good.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow that horn, start celebrating. Life is where your table Satan, permitting some prophet of doom to wipe every smile away. Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. I used to have this girlfriend known as Elsie, with whom I shared two assorted rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you'd call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. The day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. Well, that's what comes from too much pills and liquor. But when I saw her laid out like a queen, she was the happiest corpse I'd ever seen. I think of Elsie to this very day. I remember how she turned to me and say, what good is sitting all alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret. And as for me, start by admitting from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret ocean. It's only a cabaret ocean, and I'm on a
Yes, and that is the one and only Brenda Hebert from Las Vegas, and I'm winding down. I have about 30 seconds. I want to thank my guests today. Thank you, Brenda, so much for showing up and performing for us, and I really appreciate it. You bet. And again, Lamont and Stan, thank you so much. You've been listening to Taking Center Stage with Michael Cagle, and it's been an honor to be here. We will be back next week at 2 o'clock. I hope you enjoy this. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Bye-bye. Whew.